me, take my love away. Goddamn, I'm in awe of myself, so what? I take a fucking bullet for myself someday. If only so my mother doesn't cry. No.
Welcome back. This is the Hip Hop Seattle podcast. We on episode 15. It's your boy Cal Nadi.
It's your boy Miss High Definition, Henny 100K.
This is Dre, a little honey dipping.
We got a special guest.
Donormaal in the building.
Hey.
What's going on, man? Round of
Thank
applause.
you.
Thank you for coming through.
Yes, thank you for having
It's a
me.
pleasure.
How you living? How you feeling?
I'm good. Yeah. It's summertime. It's getting really busy for me.
Sun's
Okay.
out.
Yeah, lots of shows.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Shows in the
When's your
city,
next show?
shows out of the state. Where you rocking
No,
right now?
not yet. I got a couple offers to play. Like I got an offer to play in Paris at the end of the
What?
summer.
Shoot.
So I'm trying to figure out if I can get that going and like play some shows around there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, just like Seattle, Bellingham. I go to the colleges sometimes in
Okay.
Eastern Washington. Yeah.
Hey.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Do you have a big fan base with the younger crowd? How old are you?
I'm 27.
Shut
What's
the
up?
fuck
Yeah.
up. No way.
What's
You're
up?
beautifully
Everybody thinks
young.
I'm a teenager.
You're
Like
hella
you're
young.
18 years old. Yeah. Now I'm 27. I think so. I think I have I don't know. I think my fan base is kind of spread out. A lot of different types of people, a lot of different ages, I think. It's hard to know for me, like personally, when I go out and I do a show, there's usually a mix of people, but sometimes it's hard to know like your influence past a certain point, you know, like who's really listening, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your fan base now? Like, do you feel like you have a good, solid, like, people that fuck with you? Like, when you perform, they're like, they know
Yeah.
your lyrics.
Yeah.
You see them moving.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Like, okay, that's good.
Yeah, I definitely have like some core fans that will come out a lot to support me and know the words and I have a good amount of fans in Seattle that have been watching me perform for years now and have just like kept coming back and I've developed a relationship with. So
When's your next performance?
my next show is gonna be June 23rd.
June 23rd.
Yeah.
Where at?
It's at Kame House, which
Kame
is
House.
You got tickets?
yeah,
You got a guest list?
Yeah,
What's it?
I guess list. You want to be on the list?
Yeah, I wanna come check it out.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Do you have a term that you coined for your fans? You know how like Nicki's got the Barbies?
Yeah. Mine are the
Uh-oh.
mall rats.
The mall
The
rats.
The
Rats.
mall
I like
rats.
that.
Oh
There you go.
no. See, my dad was
What's up?
very strict. I could not go to the mall. I could not do that. But I feel you.
Yeah, just certain
mall
swag about it.
Where do you think
Being a
that your
mall
like
rat.
style originated from? Like, what are your influences?
I listen to a lot of different types of music, but I don't know. I think definitely hip hop was a love for me from a very young age.
Mhm.
Listened to like a lot of Bone Thugs, a lot of Souls of Mischief, Diggable Planets. Like that's how I started. Tribe Called Quest. That's how I started learning
Yes.
about hip hop. You know.
Mhm.
And then I kind of like when I was growing up and, you know, in middle school and high school, Southern rap started becoming a big deal, you know. So it was like listening to like Soulja Boy, Chamillionaire, T.I., like Ludacris, Outkast, like, and then it's like outside of hip hop, I listen to like a lot of Motown, like Jackson 5.
Classics.
Wow.
Yeah. I listen to a little bit of alternative rock here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of keep it a little reggae. I like to dip my hands in everything.
I
Yeah.
fuck with that. That's
Yeah.
like me.
Yeah.
So what would you classify yourself as, especially like on like iTunes, for example, like genre? Do you limit yourself to that, or do you call yourself a rapper? Do you call yourself a singer? Like, what would you put yourself? You think, you know?
Yeah, I always feel like it's hip hop what I'm doing, even like when I'm being experimental, whatever. Because I mean, it's like for me, I feel like hip hop is like now it's like there isn't really a genre of music that hasn't borrowed from hip hop in one way or another. You know, hip hop is like almost like the mother genre today. You know, and you can hear it in everything. And I feel like, you know, apart from just like the typical sound that we think hip hop is like about experimenting and like using what you have and figuring out a way to push boundaries. So that's what I like to do, and it's, you know, it's always hip hop to me, you know, even though I go a lot of different places with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really dope.
I just watched your video. What was the name of that one that we watched?
It's Ego Slave, right?
Ego Slave.
That's the one we just watched?
Yeah. I think so. I think you were talking
Watched
about
two
that.
of them.
Yeah.
With
We
like
watched
the
two of them, yes.
zombies.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I had
It's
seen
very
it
awesome.
a fat minute ago, and I watched it. When I first seen it, I was watching it. I was like, wow, this is hella fucking creative. Like, she's like, it was just so abstract, but just mesmerizing. Like, definitely grasping. I fuck with it. I love
Yeah.
visuals. So that
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
like a big part of, like, for me, that's a big part of like who I like favorite as an artist, because it's like if you don't have visuals, you're not really like, I just want to connect more with you on a different level. See your creativity.
Visuals
So.
are huge these days. Like I wish I had more music videos, you know. 'cause
Do
I think
them,
that's-
get them,
Yeah,
reach
I know.
out.
I'm trying.
There's
Yeah.
people out here doing production.
Yeah. Yeah, and that video, Ego Slave, that was made by Noah. His name was Noah Sophian, and he does a lot of work with, like, you know who Fantasy A is? Fantasy A.
Oh,
He
I'm
do.
fucking familiar.
You do?
That way.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he's somebody you guys should talk to for sure. Like he's kind of famous for like always being around town putting his posters up.
Mm-hmm.
He's like an autistic rapper, and he has this one song video called Seattle Sweetheart that you should really
Seattle
watch. It's
Sweetheart.
really interesting. It's
Okay.
like or maybe it's like Seattle Valentine, I don't know, something like that. But why was I talking about Fancy A?
You should check him out. He's
We were
Yeah,
talking
something
about
led
him
me into that.
because
Now
we
I
were
can't
talking
remember.
about videos.
I feel you.
and
Oh yeah,
production and
yeah. But
that.
yeah, Noah works with him a lot, and
Oh,
he's
okay.
crazy. Like he just has,
A
you know, he pretty
creative-
much came up with all of
Mhm.
that, you know, and we talked about it and kind of collaborated a little bit. But he's kind of like a Steven Spielberg type of dude.
I mean,
you
it's
know?
cool because
Yeah.
it's like, even though, you know, you did have help creating the visual, it's
Mhm.
still, you know, you are what you're around. So like I feel like it helps you grow your your experiment
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
your creativity and like what you want for your next video and like how you want things to be positioned and vision.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I always look at it as a plus.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
Plus, the video wouldn't be as creative if the music itself wasn't as creative.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank
that's
you.
kinda like-
Yeah.
Are
Really
you seeing
creative.
any of these things, like when you're like writing your songs, or when you finally hear it mixed and mastered? Are you seeing visions and stuff, and you pitching
Hell
it to the
yeah.
directors and stuff? Like,
Sometimes, yeah, but you know, it's like I'm still kind of learning how to like balance my work life and my creative life, and I feel like I haven't. It's been hard for me to dedicate time to really like writing treatments and like making sure I can get the video together, and like it's kind of like fallen on the backs of the people who are doing it a lot. But it's like I always see visuals, and I really want to like make some time to do it myself and direct myself. And because yeah, like it's pretty strong whenever I hear the music, you know, I'm thinking about something, and I'd like to like show people more of my vision. Like I did one video, like, which is just like a really like DIY lo-fi video for this song called Buddy,
okay,
where it's like at the boat show, and that's kind of like one of the only videos that I really did myself completely, and I like it. It's funny.
gonna
The
have to
song
check it
is
out.
funny. The song's over like fanfare, like horns, like a marching band type of thing. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You gotta
That's
check
really
it
awesome.
out.
You could say that's the song that got the furthest to like its purest form of artist expression, because you kind of got it exactly how you wanted it to be.
Yeah,
You know?
totally.
Kinda
Yeah.
like you know, like how when Travis Scott first started making music originally, he would engineer his stuff, but he didn't have as prominent hand into it, and now kind of what we know him as, that sound that he has, he definitely is always in the studio making sure it should sound crispy, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. If you can kind of like get an education on every aspect of the business and be able to like do that yourself, I think that ultimately those people get the furthest in exacting their vision, you know. You can have a hand in every part, you know, producing, mixing, mastering. I want to do all those things for myself, you know. Yeah.
How long have you been making music now, would you
Um,
say, as far as like, you know, putting material out and
Yeah, like putting stuff out. I put out my first project, which was like a little EP in 2014.
2014?
Yeah.
So you know Break Bill?
Yeah.
So yeah, I used to do some songs with him back in the day too, but he always used to speak pretty highly of you.
Yeah. He's a
And
good friend of mine.
so do you guys still work on music together, or like?
Yeah, definitely. We have some tracks that I'm gonna have on my next album.
Okay, that's cool.
Dope.
Yeah.
When does
That's
that
what's
come out? When is that dropping?
Sometime this summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
summer vibes.
I think so. I think it's very upbeat. It's
Dude.
called Yippee.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's like it's weird and upbeat and like playful.
That's
So
cool.
can we get like an exclusive after the interview?
Yeah.
Just like one song?
Yeah, also,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Ju-
definitely.
I would hear it.
Just I mean, for most artists, you kind of have like an idea of the sound that they make, so you kind of have a like I kind of wonder what they're gonna make. But for you, I can't even like expect what I'm gonna expect. But just off the title and off what you described, I already got a smile on my face. Now the summer vibes. Now I know it's gonna be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yippee.
So you take a lot of time.
Really?
Would you consider yourself like a perfectionist as far as like crafting your music and stuff like that? Like,
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I'm like hard on myself, you know. I
Yeah.
really want to get it exactly how I hear it in my head, which is
Yeah.
sometimes impossible. Like
Right.
sometimes you
Mhm.
gotta just like settle for what it sounds like,
That's
you
so
know.
hard.
mhm.
But yeah, I think that I do that a lot, and I also I'm not somebody who's constantly writing or like recording. I kind of spend a lot of time in my inner world and like listening to what I do, and so a lot of the times it takes me a long time to put out an album because I don't work on it like steadily. I kind of
Mhm.
like work on it when the inspiration strikes. I try to like
Yeah.
Yeah.
take the path of least resistance and not like because I don't
Push
have a
it.
deadline, you know.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah,
That's good.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's what another artist was just talking about, having deadlines and putting pressure on yourself to make
Mhm.
sure, you know, certain things are done, but it gives you that opportunity to like really put detail into it. What's your sign?
Libra.
Okay, I'm a Virgo. So I
Okay.
understand that whole like perfectionist, like
Mm-hmm.
OCD-ness about things that you want to put out there and
Yeah.
make sure it's a certain way, like for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dope.
That's really cool. So who do you like? You have any like people that you want to start working with, or you have any type of like things you want to experiment with next in your career? Like, what do you see next for yourself?
Yeah. I think I see touring a lot more. It's kind of what I want to do. I want to kind of just get out of this area and out of the West Coast. I've done a couple shows in California and a couple shows in New York, but yeah, I'd like to just spread the music more and also probably try to make more music
Mm-hmm.
at a quicker rate, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, just kind of like I'm always experimenting with the sound, you know. Every new project, I feel like it has its own vibe, and I'm kind of trying to take whatever I learned in between time and, you know, express that. So that's kind of what I hope for, you know, just progression and doing different stuff.
Do you have a manager?
No.
Do you think you're gonna get one here soon?
Yeah, I would like to. I think it'd be a lot easier.
You feel like you need one at this point, or do you feel like you can handle a lot of this on your own right now?
Sometimes I handle it all right now, and it's like I'm doing it, but it is hard, you know. Like I feel like it takes my energy, and I want to kind of save the energy for the stuff I actually like to do, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Creative side.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
You should definitely look into management, just because it's like you can't do everything by yourself. I'm that way too. I love
Yeah.
to do everything by myself, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I know like sometimes
Are you still independent right now too, or are you still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Independent.
That's good.
Yeah.
stay independent. I feel like you're
Yeah. I feel like if I could, you know, take it to the next level by myself, then that would be ideal, you know. Definitely
Mm-hmm. open to that?
Yeah, I'm open to, like, I've talked to a couple like labels,
Mhm.
a small label in New York who's kind of just been like, you should, you know, send us your album when it's done and we can talk about putting it out and whatnot. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. It's like, I think one thing about like working with a label or like working with a manager is that all of a sudden you kind of like have this responsibility to them, you know?
Yeah.
And it's been nice not feeling like I have a responsibility to anyone. Like
Mhm.
nobody's
You did it
eggs are
yourself.
in my basket.
Yeah.
It's just me, you know?
Exactly.
made it
And
happen.
yeah.
Peace
yeah.
of mind of that actually is something
Yeah.
that people don't think about too, because then
Yeah.
you do in the back of your mind know that like sometimes in some cases a contractual obligation, like you have to provide this
Yeah.
you know, for me, whether there's a time constraint or not. Like,
Yeah.
it turns into a job a little bit.
Yeah.
Opposed to you just being like, yo,
Passionate
I haven't been
and
inspired to
creative.
write shit right now, so I'm not gonna write shit.
Yeah.
But then maybe next month I'm gonna like maybe write 3 songs.
But that makes you more
Yeah.
exclusive.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes you more like interesting because it's like you're not. It's pure just creativity and passion when it is put out.
Yeah.
It's not something that's forced. It's not like trying to be trendy and up to like on every single wave that's popping. Like you just do your own thing, and that at the end of the day, when you do your own thing, you thrive.
Yeah.
I feel you, though,
That's all you
though.
can do. You know?
It's draining though. I feel you because like if you are doing everything yourself, it's like whatever you don't do, you're not doing. Like you're not gonna see any result because you're literally relying on solely yourself. It's not like you're gonna go to bed and you get a phone call in the morning like, hey, so I found blah 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 blah. It's like, yo, if you didn't actually do that, you know what I mean. So that there's some times where it's like, man, especially juggling working and shit and personal life, it gets kind of crazy. That's why I like tip my hat off to artists that can really do it all like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a lot.
It's possible, but it's just like I want
possible
it
'cause it's been
done the
done
right
many
way
times.
the first time. That's how I am.
You
the
said
right
what?
way the first time.
Say it
Everything.
again?
The right way the first time.
The right way the first time? Elaborate on that.
So let's say you needed to wash the dishes, right?
Okay.
And you go wash the dishes. But then you pick up a dish and it's still dirty. You shouldn't have to pick up a dish and it's still dirty. It should be clean because you did it right the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes them dishes be fucked up still.
Nah, man. You just scrub the
You gotta go
scrub
back
of
and
it.
do the quick up.
Yeah.
Nope. Make
Every now
sure.
and then.
There's no reason for your dish to be dirty if you clean it the first time the right way.
Yeah, I'm also
Okay.
I be
Period.
making sure.
I be
So
making sure too.
Dishes.
Yeah.
use that idea and put it into your whole life.
Make sure the chicken's cooked all the way through, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's period. Like, you want E. coli? You want
Anyway.
E. coli? No.
So were you born in Seattle, or are you from here, or did you move
No.
from?
Yeah, I moved here. I'm from California, Southern California.
Okay.
I moved around a lot though in my life. Yeah, like I was born in Long Beach, and then like from there, I moved around a whole bunch within like Riverside County and San Bernardino County.
Within
like
California?
Yeah, the
Okay.
Inland Empire. And then I went to Sierra Leone for a year when I was 5. 'Cause that's where my mom's family is from.
Okay.
And then lived in Maryland for a little bit too when I was like around that age. And then I came back to California, and that's where I was until I went to school in New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
You went to school in New York.
Yeah.
So for like when?
When?
Yeah, like what grades?
Oh, college.
Okay.
Yeah, college. Went to a small college outside of New York called
Was
Sarah
it on-
Lawrence
Did you get a
College.
scholarship? Did you have to like best
I
your
had-
ass? Like,
I had a financial aid, and I
Yeah.
had to take out loans. My mom had to take out loans, so it's
Yeah,
like I'm
of course.
very much in debt.
Of course. Like
yeah.
Obama, where you at?
Yeah, my mom's in debt. I'm in debt. But yeah, they did give me a good amount of gift aid, which is where they're just like, we're going to give you this amount of money, and then you can take care of the rest, you know, with loans and whatnot.
You're the third of 4 siblings?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many, like, brothers, sisters? Like, how's that?
Yeah, I have, the oldest is my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have 2 older sisters, and then I have a fraternal twin sister.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fraternal's completely alike, right?
No, that's identical.
What's fraternal?
Wow.
Fraternal is like when there's 2 eggs that get fertilized, and the identical is when there's 1 egg that splits into 2 eggs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm fraternal. We're pretty much just like sisters, but we came at the same time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
2 different embryo sites.
That's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Is anybody else in your family into music or any of that? Or are you the only one? Or?
Yeah, they all love music, but they don't do
Pursue
it. Not like my immediate family. Like I actually I had a great uncle that was a band leader in Suriname, and then also in the UK in like the 1940s. And
What's up?
he actually died on stage like during the Blitz,
What?
that like World War II Blitz where Germany was bombing London.
Oh, wow.
The club that he was playing at got bombed. It's not funny, but it's crazy. Like, and he got decapitated on stage, you know.
Yeah. Why are we laughing?
I'm laughing because she's laughing.
I'm laughing
because
because
It's
she
y'all
wild.
knows.
It's wild.
She
I
knows
mean,
it's a crazy ass story. Like, oh man.
I'm
Rest
sorry.
in peace, Grandpa.
Yeah, so yeah, he's like he's a big musician in my family. And then it's like I had my grandma's brother, he like played I think he played trumpet for a long time, like in Harlem around like the Harlem Renaissance times.
Dope.
Yeah, thick history.
Yeah. But no, like none of my siblings or my mom. My dad, like I didn't know my dad very well. I always forget, but he also did play guitar and stuff
Okay,
like that.
so it's in your
Yeah.
identity.
Yeah.
Literally.
I wish I knew how to play guitar. That's like one of those things if you know how to do. Do you know how to play guitar and like any instruments you feel like you
I fuck around on the guitar.
word?
Yeah.
So I can do
And
a couple
You got some
chords.
riffs and shit.
Yeah, and I
Something
fuck around
slight.
on the piano.
Okay.
It's like I wouldn't call myself like, you know, but I can
You-
pretty much teach myself anything on the piano.
You think
I
you,
can, like,
can
listen
whip
to it
yourself
and
up
teach it.
something on some production side for yourself, like on the
Yeah,
piano,
I have.
throw a little,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You've done that?
totally. I have, yeah.
Okay.
I have some new stuff on this new album that I produced myself.
That's what's up.
Dope.
But yeah, you know, I feel like I definitely could. I just don't think I like to spend that much time making music. It's kind of weird. It's like I love music. I love like being creative, but I am in like a very daydreamy world with it, you know. It's like I'll like record a few songs, and then every time I'm like, you should go record, I'll go into the studio and I'll listen to those 3 songs for like 2 hours until I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want to record anymore. I'm tired. Go to bed, you know. It's weird. Like,
It's not weird. I think it's organic.
yeah,
it's
it just is what it is.
raw.
But I think especially like in rap and like all my friends, they like to be in the studio all the time, and it's like that's like a, you know, a code to them. It's like you live and you breathe music and you do that every day. And I think sometimes there's like a pressure to do that more, you know, in the industry.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think that though, like with you, you know, not working as you work smarter, not harder. Think about it like that. Like,
Thanks. That's a
It's,
good way.
it's definitely something that you don't have to break your back for, and it's something that you just naturally have. Like it's definitely a grasping sound, visual, everything about it. So it's like I don't know personally like how much you've accomplished, you know, from 2014 to now, but you know it's very noticeable that
Well, shoot. One thing we can say is the stranger had a lot of good things to say.
yeah,
that's
we
Off
read
the
we read
rip.
blog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like off the rip, they had a lot of great things to say about you. So, like, how did that?
If you don't have it, go get it right now.
Yeah, but what kind of relationship do you have with the publication? Do they really reach out to you often? Or?
I've been in it a few times. Yeah, like I think they put like my album Jump or Die and my album Third Daughter on the year list the year that they came out,
Mhm.
and I think they've had like a couple articles talking about like shows that I've done and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, Charles Moderator, who wrote it, I had never met him before, but I knew that he liked my music. He had messaged me before telling me that he liked it, and so yeah, I don't know.
That's hella dope.
Yeah.
Were you stoked when that all went down? Like, just even having them like
Yeah.
recognize you?
I was really stoked. You know, it's like it's
Accomplishment.
yeah,
instead of
it's an accomplishment for sure. But I think that also who I am as a person, as much as I love doing this and love doing art, it's like I'm not super like used to putting myself out there and putting my
No.
shit out there, you know? So it's like whenever I get an article or whenever I get a cover, I have conflicting feelings about it because it's like here I am like on this publication, you know, that they're using my image, you know? It's like this publication is a cool publication for sure. The Stranger Dope. I'm happy that they had me on there, but I don't stand behind them 100%, you know? It's like there's definitely some things about The Stranger that
Yeah.
I do not appreciate, but also it's like I want that opportunity and I want people to, you know about my music. So I feel like I have conflicting feelings a lot of the time, you know? It's like I feel happy and excited, but I'm also kind of dissociated because I'm like, okay, well now there's all these other things that you have to think about now that you're out there in the world like that and you're repping, you know, your image is being used to sell this product to these people, and why are they consuming it? You know, I think about all those things, you know, so
Yeah.
True artist.
yeah.
I definitely think that it's irritating have to keep up with an image that you have to pertain an image, like regardless, like you can't, sometimes you have to do business with people you don't like,
Yeah,
at the end of the
totally.
day. So it's just like you have to suck it up. It's business.
Yeah, and it's like I love Charles Medade, like the person who wrote it. I have no bad things to say about him, but the publication sometimes has some interesting opinions.
The most successful people are the people that do things that other people aren't willing to do.
Oh, I know that 100%. But I also know the fact that just exactly what she's saying, though, like the opportunity is absolutely great. And she ultimately took it. But expressing the fact where you don't hear a lot is like, I don't fully agree with everything they represent. Which if you are an artist, like you actually care about everything your name has association with because of what you portray in your music and all that. And what people can literally, if the first time they ever see her music and it's from like, if they had already flipped through some shit that they didn't like, it's like they might even write it off just because it's a, you know, you don't know how people are gonna find you. You know, it's not always gonna be like, oh shit, on the really good article where you're reading, you know, it might be a whole, there's different circumstances like people discover you.
Like,
so you want your shit to be A1, like you just know out there that if they discovered me, it was through word of mouth or whatever, but they didn't see it on some negative bullshit. It's like posted places I kind of know of, or I don't know. That's a little deeper into it, but I feel like artists do think about that shit.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah, just recently, like the other day, I kept getting these comments on one of my music videos that was like, Gavin sent me here, Team Gavin. Oh, great recommendation, Gavin. So I was like, who's this Gavin person? And then somebody, like I asked them that, the people who were commenting, and they were like, oh, Gavin McGinnis he shouted you out on his radio show. And that's Gavin McGinnis is like, you know, like who the Proud Boys are?
Yeah,
like he's like one of the founders of Proud Boys, and like which is like he's been associated with like alt-right groups and like white supremacist groups, and he's a huge platform. He was like the co-founder of Vice, but then he left Vice because of like creative differences, and he's kind of just like this super like alt-right kind of conservative thinking person that shouted out my song like on a show, and had people who were like fans of him coming to my thing and commenting on it, and like that was like, well, like what do you fucking do about something like that? It's like there's nothing you can do, you know. It's like I can't do anything about it, but it's just interesting, you know, because then it's like your music gets associated with these things that you have no control over.
What was the context though that him shouting you out? Like, what did he say? Like, what was it about your song? Like, I
think that he just liked it. See, the thing is, I can't even watch it because in order to watch this podcast, you have to subscribe to his website and like pay money and stuff. So I was like, I don't really want to subscribe to like this website. You know?
Why don't you hit him like, you use my name, I need to know what you said.
Yeah, I might hit him up. Yeah. But yeah, it's just interesting. You don't have control, you know, if you're putting yourself out there in the public sector.
One thing that I learned that for sure is just you cannot like be worried about other people's thoughts or feelings, but at the same time you have an image that you personally want to uphold, but don't let nobody like back you in the corner from anything that you want to do, because at the end of the day you can definitely do that. That's crazy though. You should definitely get that footage.
Yeah, I need to see what's up.
I would have been like today.
All your credit card info in there.
We're watching some of
not
the...
even. I'm hitting the DM.
Oh yeah.
His IG.
IG.
Yeah.
I'll make
actually, no, he doesn't, because they kicked him off of Instagram and Twitter.
They kicked him off of Instagram.
I will find out how, or I'll sue.
Man, leave his.
I'm doing something. I gotta figure it out.
Fuck that.
But,
no, we were watching some videos of you performing on stage, and it looks like you really come alive on stage and really like embody your music, and really like, you know, it's just your vocals straight up. There's nothing else. It's just you.
Yeah.
Like, what mode do you go into? Do you feel like, you know, that's one of those places where it's like, because you have the recording aspect, you know what I mean? And you're obviously whatever mode that you're in for that. Yeah. But then on stage, it's like, especially in front of crowds that you haven't performed in front of before. Yeah. Like, what's your thought process in that?
Yeah. I think that I dissociate a lot on stage, where it's like when you go into like this auto mode zone. You know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just get into your zone, and it's like I'll be on stage and I'll just kind of like snap out of it and then realize that I'm on stage again for a second and feel kind of uncomfortable because I realized I was just like going to some crazy place in front of a whole bunch of people.
And then didn't you realize and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, usually it's like I snap out of it and then I'm like, okay, like this is what we're doing, you know, but so it's like I don't think the crowd really knows. They just see like somebody on stage who's like doing a whole bunch of like
Random
weird emotions and like just
Yeah.
mad, sad, boastful, hopeless, desperate. I go through all those
Emotions
behaviors and
yeah.
act them out on stage because that's kind of like the music that I try to make is like if music evokes emotions, I wanna write a song that evokes all of the emotions and you have to feel everything, you know. Not just like a sad song, but also it's kind of funny song too and you know, just go to different places. And I think that on stage, I really do that. It's like I become all those characters and I just switch back and forth between them, you know.
Are you comfortable with performing?
Yeah, I really love to perform. I feel like I'm way more comfortable on stage than just like in my everyday life around people.
That's
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I wish that I had the same level of comfort and like confidence in my everyday life that I do have when I'm on stage.
The crazy part is like you don't even know how many people that you probably inspire and that like are looking up to you like, wow, she's amazing and like her music is so dope. Like you have no idea. Like so just that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, probably.
Because when you're up there, you're up there.
When they're in their day thinking like they don't have the power, they probably be listening to you and
absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's definitely why it feels so good, I think, to do art, you know, is when you kind of just like scream some stuff into the void and then people are like, I hear something. Like, people relate to you in ways that you kind of think it's just like your own weird shit, you know? Yeah.
That's really awesome, yo. Damn. All right. What's the next move? What's the next song? Anything you want to let anybody know that you got coming up that you're excited about? Or
I'm gonna play with Big Frida and Maya on June
23rd?
June 30th.
Oh.
The festival starts on the 28th. It's for Pride and it's at Queer Bar and like Big Frida and Maya are headlining, so that's gonna be dope. Yeah.
There you go.
And then what else? I have a few house shows in July. I have a house show at Comedy House on the 23rd. So yeah, check my Instagram. That's where I like post everything. Sometimes I lose track, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and then my album's coming out soon. I don't know when. In the summer sometime.
I don't know when. Whenever I feel like it.
In the summer sometime.
In the summer sometime.
And it's called Yippee.
EFP?
Yippee.
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 Yeah.
Yippee. Oh my bad.
Yippee, because
that's what's up.
What's your Instagram name?
It's Donormaal. Donormaal.
Donormaal. Follow. Check her out on all streaming platforms. You feel me? Watch the music videos. Tons of great content. We appreciate you coming through.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You know. This has been delightful.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. Oh, actually, yeah. I should have bought more than one record.
We got the
but
vinyl.
I just bought a record for you guys.
That is amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, point that at the camera. Let's see that. That's amazing.
I'll get y'all all records.
I think Gary was showing that off. Shout out to Gary. But that's dope. That's a really dope cover.
This is dope.
Yeah.
Like this is so original.
Yeah. My mom, she wrote the thing on the back too. It's really funny. She's like very deep and emotional.
Really awesome. Damn, okay, we appreciate that. That's dang.
Family love.
First artist to bring to show something. Oh yeah, Macintosh brought us
He brought the Remy.
He brought the bottle.
Well,
shout out Macintosh.
He brought the bottle.
And Donormaal. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Donormaal.
Thank you guys.
Wow.
Nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you too. Pleasure.
I feel like in our conversation, like you took us to the stars, and we just kind of like
we're just
inspired.
Now we're just all over the place.
I feel like enlightened.
Yeah, I saw a star like explode and reborn and everything.
Oh, cool.
Anyways,
did my job.
Episode Number 15.
15 in the books. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. Be sure to check us in for the next one. This is Cal Nadi.
Miss High Definition.
Dre, a little honey dipping.
Donormaal.
No tears. I have everything I thought I lost that night. Wouldn't give it back at any cost that high. They told me that I was a slave. What's new? My skin is looking black, my ego bright, bright blue. Notice since a child there's something in my heart. Something that the world tried to push down too far. Now I got it and I'll never let it go. My heart, my soul, that's all she ever talks about. Who needs it? You don't wanna have to not find out. Okay, I'll show you what it's like stressed out. No crying, but you kinda wish you would sometimes. Don't say that. My sisters march on, march on. Everybody need a step front, and I'ma be the only one to take a step back right now. I bet on everybody think I'm whack right now. Ego slave, she cleans up on the mic. I'm not alone. Hard to remember that they threw me a couple bones. Much to be thankful for, but I don't have a hometown, babe. I don't really know what's next. Which memories are saving? Will you make a mind bet? We both have a dream to live a real big life. No shit, they're screaming, never ending kind of heights to lick. I'm not kidding, I think everybody hates me now. I love everybody still deep down. I think I'm projecting a little right now. Okay, I'll show you what it's like hyped down. No dying, but you kinda wish you would sometimes. Don't say that. My mother that will fuck her life on great days. That I think I want a different life, but don't praise that. The negativity lives on. Bitch, say that you never once was wrong. Your word, your song, just trust it. March on, and everybody need a step front, and I'ma be the only one to take a step back right now. I bet on everybody think I'm whack right now. Ego slave, she cleans up on the mic somehow, and everybody need a step front, and I'ma be the only one to take a step back right now. I bet on everybody think I'm whack right now. Ego slave, she cleans up. March on. Everybody need a step front, and I'ma be the only one to take a step back right now. I bet on everybody think I'm whack right now. Ego slave, she cleans up on the mic. They say they want me, but I can't stand them, they just haunt me. Someone to flaw me, some acting different when they taunt me. Act like a junkie, that's Donormaal, hey, that's her honky. We think y'all funky, come right with us, come take a bun hit. They think they're songless, they listen to it for the longest. That's why we made it big, now let me get back to the song, bitch. Try to be honest, but they can't handle the truth, I promise. We go hard like comments, even for the